How's it going?
Hey everybody,
Hey,
Dana, how you doing?
really well. Loving
Good.
it. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. So here we are, TQ, JQ, and Dana, the one and only at
Dana Dane.
Tea Time at the Apothecary. Um, so uh, welcome. It's a Friday. It's the dog days of summer. Um,
It is
what else?
beautiful out though, man.
Yeah,
It's
dog days
perfect.
more in like just spiritually. It's actually nice. I think it's gonna get a little hotter. Past couple days have been gorgeous. I went for a walk last night
Yeah.
around, Lincoln Square, Ravenswood Manor, and I had a really bad headache yesterday, and it all went away with that walk. It's a gorgeous time to walk around Chicago. What a green, beautiful city it is. I'm
Yeah.
in love. What can I say?
I hear
It's
ya.
it's
What are
true.
you guys drinking?
So I'm
Um,
drinking the German peppermint that we sell like in the big box. You just
Oh,
straight
the
peppermint,
Pompadour?
pecane,
Oh, I think it's called
tacana,
Tecana.
Kana, Tikana.
tacan.
Yeah.
That what used to be called Pompadour, I think, and
Yeah.
now they changed the name to Tecana. Yeah, that's like 100 bags in a box, right?
Yeah. We have it in peppermint, we have it in rose hips, and we have it in chamomile. It's really good.
Yeah,
Good
that's the
value.
one that all the old German ladies who swear by drinking it and then putting bags on their eyes. They do a
Yeah.
double bag of that and then let the bags cool down and put them on their eyes at night.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always tell people to do that. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm drinking triple lemon bag right now.
Mm.
Dude, I don't do a lot of bag teas. I'm a loose tea guy, but today I was thinking triple lemon. I just want to continue this happy summer feeling. And we're doing one of my favorite things, which is smelling some cool fragrances. I just felt like it was sort of it's kind of a neutral tea, not heavily fragrant. So for me, that was also, I want to like dive into these fragrances. So
Yeah, totally.
I have ginger yogi.
you got
I'm
to
Nice.
get
having
going with the strong teas, but you have good noses, so
well, also it's like kind of a reset,
yeah,
like when you get your face in there. And then you come back out, it's a little bit like coffee, where you're like, okay, now I'm back to zero.
yeah.
Um, Also, I've been having like a intense TMJ this week, and it just rips into your head and gives you like the worst kind of migraine-ish type headache. And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to like breathe and relax my face and my jaw, and like before I know it, I'll be like driving or doing something, concentrating, and then I feel myself like clenching, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
just
And then
like,
like you also do like one of these kind of, and you don't even know it. Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I know I've recommended this before, but I'm using that like I call it the bed of nails. Those like super spiky, sharp bed that I bought from Amazon, like this little thing you lay on the ground, and it has for your head and your back. And I will say, Jay, my clenching of my shoulders and my neck and my jaw have gone down by 80 to 90% since I do that. I do it in the morning when I wake up before I get going, and I do it right before I get into bed. And I feel like my sleep is my jaw doesn't clench and all those things. So
awesome.
I'm pretty into it.
The other thing is that what's that doctor that has all those movements that seem unrelated but aren't? That mom pulls out that book a lot.
The doctor, are you talking about the Egoscue book?
Yeah, Gaska book. That
Yeah,
one.
it's not a doctor. He's kind of like a sports therapist, kind of rehab dude or whatever.
Okay, yeah, like a PT kind of person, right?
Yeah,
And this is super weird, but for TMJ, and I noticed this first, and then mom confirmed it with the book. Wall sits
yeah. Wall sits are great.
are like
I believe that.
amazing for your jaw.
Yeah.
Who knew?
It, I know. It's so like I have seen throughout my life a chiropractor and naturopath, and she's like, I remember her saying like in my early 20s, I'm going to teach you how to sit. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what? 'What? 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 '
Yeah, I still don't know how to sit, I think, but I'm better than I used to be.
I don't follow it, but when I do consciously, it's like wall sitting or anything, like it really can help this whole like structural alignment.
The
Yeah.
other thing, so this is like I think wall sits, like there's a certain part of the reason why most of us don't do them or do the things we're supposed to do is that there's, at least for me, a really big sense of frustration that comes around um, forcing your body to do, even if it's the correct thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have that uncomfortable, like irritated with life and myself and my annoying body feeling for the next 10 minutes or whatever it is. That said,
You can do a 10-minute wall sit.
no,
You're
like a few minutes, but I was thinking about yoga, but I was going to say, for me, I do the Yoga Studio app, and forward bends is a 20-minute yoga routine. And forward bends, when I first started doing this yoga, I mean, I could almost cry just thinking about I was going to do forward bends because it was so painful. Because, like, my whatever the chain of muscle connection is from the base of my head, literally to the back of my feet, every single part of that chain was like, felt like it was tightened and bad. And I used to do it, and I'd be like, I'd want to punch through a wall while I was doing it. And now I would say it is my favorite thing to do. And I don't always do it because it's 20 minutes. Sometimes I'm running out the door, but I try to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week. And if I can get like 5 or 6 days in a row, I am the happiest guy ever. So I would recommend that too. It, as someone who had bad hamstrings, it was like, it was literal torture for me, but I feel great now. Anyway,
Anyway, now that we're done being like people who are getting old and talk about how terrible our bodies are. Um,
yeah,
let's talk about something fun.
Yes, Wilhelm, the
yeah.
newest fragrance line to
Do,
launch at Merz.
do you have the bottle with you?
I do.
Can we
So
see it? Because it's so cool.
they
Yeah,
all look like this.
yeah, they're beautiful.
They're like an etched glass, and then Jan Wilhelm is the founder and perfumer, and the yellow is inspired by a piece of bakelite he didn't specify that he found at a Parisian flea market.
Yeah, I don't know Jan. I hope to get to know him, but I will say that.
Kind of graphic.
Oh,
From.
oh, sorry,
It's really
Dana.
beautiful.
You cut out there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Um,
I'm done.
but what I was going to say is, I don't know Jan. I hope we get to know him. There's, I'm sure at some point we get to
Yeah.
meet some perfumers, and that would be fun. But I have to say, reading about him and knowing the brand, I just get this like feeling of, I don't know, like who I want to be born in the next life or in a past life. I hope I was, which is like this sort of super cool Euro global citizen who just like knows how to live the good life. It may be a charade, but a charade. I buy in. I want that charade as my life. I like to say charade too.
I can tell you it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Well,
Um,
to be, he's a Renaissance man. He is a storyteller. I mean, he's creative and for sure live a good life. So inspiring. Yeah.
Cool. Therese is giving you.
We can go into
nice.
smelling
Yeah,
stuff too. I chose 4. We have 12 total, and they've been a hit so far. We've only had them for a couple weeks. Really interesting and different from anything that we have. So
That's awesome. But what I was going to say is Greta just messaged over that Jan will be joining us on Friday, September 18th. So that is going to be fun.
what?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
This is
man,
gonna,
that's
that's going to be
amazing.
great. And then Therese
So
said, thanks
tune in
to
for
Dana.
that.
What's that? Sorry, we're
I
having a
think
little delay.
a little bit of a delay with Dana's.
Little
Yeah.
delay.
Yeah. But Therese said, thanks to Dana for her suggestion of a Tot Libre d'Orange cologne on the previous tea time. Her teenage boy, Alex, who's an awesome dude, I know him, he loves it. So nice job, Dana.
Can you believe
Awesome.
Alex is old
I'm so
enough to
glad.
make cologne? That's what I'm
That's
amazed
awesome.
by.
No, I know. All right, so let's get into some smelling, huh?
Yeah.
Where do you want to
Let's
start,
do it.
Dana?
So start with Morning Chess, the first, the one I I held up. Morning chat.
Yeah.
So you guys both have blotters or.
I love this fragrance. I've been wearing this one, by the way. The other ones are I'm not as on top of, but this one is awesome.
This one, so this was inspired by Jan Summers spent on in Fårberg in Sweden with his grandfather playing chess, and what that means to him, lots of green, bergamot, but the leathery dry down. It seems like seasonless to me. It's really, really lovely.
Cool.
I love it.
Nice. It's great. Yeah, I want to talk about what I'm smelling, but first of all,
I missed some of that description, but
yeah, hey Dana, is it possible? Are you on the Wi-Fi? Maybe go on to turn off your Wi-Fi and go on to the cellular network, because it seems like we're glitching. And while we're doing that, yeah, while we're doing that,
no, I'm not on Wi-Fi.
We'll get on Wi-Fi. Anyway.
But I shouldn't be on Wi-Fi, right? I mean,
I don't know.
this is a beautiful fragrance.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is,
What do you get from it, T?
I get so there's something in it that is almost kind of like I get a lot of herbs and trees and things like that, and that bergamot is huge. But it's, to me, there's something that the combination of them smells like a mix of like, like my dad or my grandpa growing up, but there's almost like a sweetness that hints at, I know this isn't in there, but almost like, there's almost like something that hints at mango, but isn't mango to me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does actually. It's like there's an element in there that's, oh, we lost Dana, but she'll be back on. There's an element there that's like, I know what you mean by it hints at mango. It's like, it's a little bit like like a sweet sapari a little bit.
Yeah, it's like so lush. And then you get like that sweetness of like leathery notes and like the sweetness of something. It's like,
I'm getting like, I don't know if this is way off, but I get saffron in there.
I don't get that as much, but I get like, to me, I was going to say,
Like a citrusy new car thing happening.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I think that's the leather. I think that there is leather notes in there, and I think that's where you get that car smell. But
yeah,
there's like
that bike tire smell to me is a saffron thing. That's like always saffron to me smells like bike tires, like fresh tires.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
like kind of rubbery almost, not in a bad way.
Yeah,
Like
in a good way.
medicinal kind.
New car, but not just the upholstery. Like I'm getting the whole thing.
To me, it's like there's a very nice to have you back, Dana. There's a very elegant. It's like it's like masculine without like anybody could wear this, I think, but I think that there's definitely like it's a lot big nods to traditional masculine fragrances without going down the road of like, whoa, that's over the top man.
It's
Does that make
such
sense?
a rounded version of that I wouldn't even call it masculine.
Yeah, I don't mean it's a
There's
masculine
something really
thing.
graceful, sophisticated about it.
Yeah, there's these notes to me that are traditionally masculine fragrances, but they come across as just like a very fresh, wearable fragrance for anybody who's into something that you have to be into something that's pretty rich. That's what I would say. This is a rich fragrance, and it's unusual for me. I've been wearing it, and I don't normally wear things that are like kind of linger in this kind of rich way, but I actually love this. I think it's the freshness and greenness of it that keeps me into it.
Yeah. Okay. So the sweet.
Sorry, Dana, if we're not hearing you, you're glitching in and out a little bit, so we're not always catching when you're starting.
Oh, it's okay. That's all right. I hear you guys. I tried to bullshit a little bit, so I apologize.
Okay.
I'm like the sweetness is going away now.
Yeah.
And the dry down is, it's a much drier scent than it was when it first started. There was a lushness in the beginning, and now I'm getting like a drier wood element at the end that's really clean.
Yeah,
And I'm getting a little
Lots of
like
patchouli, I
green,
feel. That's what I smell.
that like
yeah,
green wood a little, you know?
yeah. It's really nice.
Oh, that
Um,
is beautiful.
I think this is like one of the more elegant, sort of like gentlemanly. I don't, again, I don't want to put masculinity or like a gender on it or that kind of thing, but I feel like elegant, like elegant and a little bit formal without being stuffy. It's like there's just this sort of like richness to it that I
Also,
love.
I find it sort of like sort of complex. You know,
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm catching it one way and then I'm catching it another way over the course of the past 4 minutes, and it's evolving heavily, and I'm finding new stuff in it. You know, both.
Yeah, no, it's changing a lot.
You don't know where they go. It's when Vilhelm himself wears
Hey
with
Dana,
food.
maybe do you want to move into a different part of the building, even if it's not this as easy? Like maybe
Yeah.
over by the table in the other area, see if it's better, because we're not getting you right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
I'm moving. All
Sorry,
right.
everyone. Thanks for bearing with us. We want to. Dana is such a good fragrance sort of explainer and has such a great nose that I want to make sure we hear what she has to say. So, and amazing that she's walking on the ceiling right now, which is super cool. There we go.
Right. Okay.
All right.
All
Okay.
right, say something. I want to hear
All
you
right.
speak.
Is this better?
You got to talk a little bit more, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it very? No.
Hey, Dana, um,
What?
do you want to come in? Turn off your. Do you want to come in to my office? We can sit distantly. I'll open up the window, and do you want to talk on the screen with me, and we can kind of move the camera back and forth?
Sure. It's still here now.
Yeah.
Can't hear
No.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I'm coming. One
Cool.
moment. Be keep
Yeah.
be rack.
I'll prep for you. All right.
This is 2020. It's all good.
Yeah, dude, this is how you roll in pandemic times when we can't get on the same.
I think you can stick the whole thing into your face mask and just sit there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be like 12 feet apart.
Yeah.
I've got a window open. I've got a fan on. We're gonna be fine, you know.
Yeah.
But
What is, do you know what the next one we're supposed to start with is?
why don't we? I don't know, but I'm gonna say Poets of Berlin to
Okay.
keep it moving. All right. So I will just say this won't give away any notes or anything like that, but this is talking about Berlin and is a tribute to David Bowie. He lived in the city during the 70s for a few years, and that's the tribute we have in there.
This is a bouquet.
Yeah. Are you comfortable sitting 12 feet away from me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna show you. Dana is over there setting up. So, Dana, hi.
Hello.
All right. So, speak for a second. I moved to Poets of Berlin, so
Oh.
speak to me. Is that okay to go
Yeah,
in that
that's
order?
great. So, Poets of Berlin is inspired by David Bowie's time in Berlin in the 70s. Berlin in the 70s and Berlin, like throughout many eras, has been really just like the kinetic playground, the kind of like cultural crossroads. You know, in Europe, there's a great energy there. This is kind of fruity to me, like lemony, blueberry. There's powderiness in the dry down. Like it's kind of it's exciting. It's a
Yeah.
definitely exciting fragrance.
And Jan said the more I read about him, the more I felt the warm and gentle person he was behind the persona.
Yeah.
And our brothers, did you meet him too, Jay, or just G?
Huh?
Hello? Did
What's
you
up?
meet David Bowie as well?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So, but G has a great story, which we don't have to repeat right now. But he is a gentle. He was, and
And
is a really gentle, loving person.
and sweet man, and I've met him multiple times, and I have friends that have worked with him in music and can tell you how amazing he is.
Yeah. To me,
Um,
this is so.
This is really sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a customer favorite so far, like definite kind of fan favorite. So
Yeah.
it really warms up on most people's skin too.
I
So
can
it's
see
great
that.
transitional fragrance.
Yeah. This is really sexy, and it is warming up even on the paper drying down. I can feel it warming up. It started very like floral, and now it's like kind of calming into this like, oh man, I don't know. It's but
Yeah.
all I can say is I want someone I'm close to wear this.
Yeah.
Totally.
Greta, I hope you're listening. And uh, and it is it's like Bowie. It's very androgynous, which I like. I think that's hot. You know?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Is it the orris root that gives it that powdery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that is always like sort of.
I know you don't really like that.
I don't know. I mean, like I like this. I like smelling it, but it's like I'd like to smell it on someone else. I find orris root to somehow have a little bit of a.
It's too much powder for you.
Yeah, it's more, it's like, I like this. There's nothing I can say bad about it. I really like it. It is very sexy. It always feels like if I have to smell that for a really long time, for me, it's going to become too much. Do you know what I mean? But
Well, that's why, like, I don't think it's for me to put on myself. That's why I said, like, I would want this on someone I'm close to.
Yeah.
For instance, my wife, who kind of looks like David Bowie. So maybe this all makes sense.
What are we smelling next, Dana?
So let's do smoke show.
All right.
So smoke show, jazzy, dark jazz club, leather, rose.
T, you're getting compliments on your face mask.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this was sent along. I ordered a shirt from a company, and this was sent along with it. And I dig it, I have to say.
It's, it's a little preppy, but I kind of like it.
I'm sort of into preppy accents, So,
Yeah, I like it too.
Wow, this is a big boy.
Yeah.
yeah, smoke show is, first of all, when you talk about that burning, this is like on the edge of sulfurous in the initial spread. Like when I smell it, it's like, oh yeah, someone blew off some fireworks or something. There's a sulfurous note there.
Yeah, for sure. And this is definitely like you were talking about morning chest. I found that to be much more unisex. This feels masculine,
Yeah.
like unapologetically.
I agree. It's very there's a power in it, and there's definitely like a sophistication in it, and like a luxury almost.
Yeah, I mean, now we're just debating our own conceptions of those words, but I would say that like, I think this gets weird enough that this is like off the wall enough a little bit that to me it sort of starts to move into that, like you could call it a more sort of powerful fragrance, but you could also say that like this sort of borders on like it kind of defies any kind of traditional notions, and it's to me almost one of those like you either love it or you don't, but I don't think it matters who wears it.
There's something like, like initially it's very like motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
Like you get like the black leather jacket and you get the smoke and the exhaust sort of from the motorcycle. But then you get this sort of like, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if this makes sense, but like, I know this from shaving, but you get this sort of like masculine floral thing.
That's the
That,
rose, dude.
what'd you say?
That's the rose.
Yeah.
Rose. That's what it
It's
is.
like rose in English shaving creams, like roses.
Is like the most masculine,
Yeah,
right?
like you know, you have all those like I'm thinking of like Arlington and these other classic fragrances of shave creams. They always have a dusky rose in there, and that's what this has a heavy dose of rose behind the sulfur smoke, and I think that to me that's what makes it sort of like I don't know. It feels like this is floating in its own universe, and like anyone could wear this if you're willing to be like a little bit sort of
Yeah.
you like something a little weird, you
You
know?
want to like, yeah, you definitely are not probably like shy if you wear this. You have character and kind of want to stand out. It's lovely. And the rose, like we tend to think of rose as one way in our culture, you know, that it's like tea rose or centifolia rose and it's really clean and green. But like, I kind of love like the dirty rose aspect of this. It's
Dirty rose.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
Dirty. Yeah.
Dirty.
I love dirty.
Bum.
I love dirty pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
dirty rose.
This is a
What we
good
got?
fragrance too for like all the oud people out there. Like you have a lot of oud fans. It's very trendy and it's and that could smell like many different things. But
I think
this is for that person.
this definitely has kind of that like oud adjacent sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think it would be kind of cool if you love oud but feel like maybe you've sort of worn your oud out a little bit.
Totally.
Like you could wear this and you'd be kind of like people would be like, what is that? Is that oud? It doesn't smell exactly like it, but it's adjacent, you know?
Totally.
It's cool. All right, what's next?
Okay, Basilico and Fellini, which is one of my personal favorites.
Save Dana's.
By the way, I
best.
think that should be your DJ name, Oud Adjacent.
Oud adjacent.
Ooh, that's good. I like it.
Okay, I mean,
Wow.
It's so good.
This is fantastic.
I almost just swore in like a really hearty, delicious way.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like.
Okay, I love this.
Me too. I think like this is the ish, as they say.
Yeah. I mean, basil, like for me, I can't get enough basil, and neither could Fellini apparently, and so that's why his name is part of the name of this fragrance. But basil, it's green, it's an aphrodisiac. There's nothing like it. You get a hit of that.
Can you repeat some of that? I couldn't.
Yeah, sorry. Go say it. I'm looking at my other things on the screen. Go ahead. Say it. Say it.
So basil, green, it is traditionally an aphrodisiac. Fellini, the filmmaker, apparently legend has it, loved extra basil on his risotto. And this is just, Wilhelm also has a property in Lake Como, Italy. So you kind of have all these references going on, but to me, basil is like summer, outdoors, juicy. They hit a fig in there, fig leaf. It's just.
Okay, all of that is dead on, and I've got to say a couple things right now because this is the power of this fragrance. I decided in the time that Dana was talking that I need something I've wanted to do in the past, but I need to learn Italian, and I might build my whole life starting at this moment around retiring in Lake Como. Like that's how powerful this fragrance is right now.
Totally. Yeah.
Like
awesome.
if this is even the smallest hint of life in Lake Como, like give it to me.
Yeah.
I was walking down the stairs like 2 days ago, and Greta was making pesto from the fresh basil in our backyard, and I swear I smelled it across the house, up the stairs, and over 2 doorways. And I came down and I go, what is that smell? She's like, I'm just making pesto. I'm like, I can smell it upstairs. And I was like ravenous, like not for food. I was just like obsessed.
Yeah.
I was just like running around sniffing, and I kept like leaving just so I could come back into the smell because the first moment of getting into it was so exciting.
Yeah, it is sexy.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then you get these kind of like grassy hay notes in there, a little bit of violet. So it's just like rolling around in the grass at Lake Como. I don't know what that means, but I want to be there too.
I want to know what that means.
And
That's
I wear
awesome.
this fragrance probably every other day since we received this vine.
I'm taking a bottle of this home.
Yeah.
So if you want one, people,
So-
first of all, I should mention all the things that we talked about today are available, I think, as samples. So if you wanted to smell these or any other Wilhelm fragrances and any other the like hundreds of fragrances we have, most of them are available on Small Flower as samples. I'm sure we can link these up both in the full fragrance and sample. Also, we tend to give, I think we give a sample of every fragrance that we sell in the full bottle so that you can try it before opening it, so we don't have any sort of, mishaps or mistaken purchases kind of thing. But I would definitely recommend at least trying samples of some of these. And
I think we're actually planning, we're going to announce it soon, but we're planning a smell along for everyone out there, where you're going to be able to go online and pick up the same 4 or 5 fragrances that we're going to smell, and you can smell them at the same time. So Greta will be publicizing that shortly. And when we do that, then your purchase of the tester kit goes towards a fragrance. So it's basically at zero cost for you, right?
Yeah.
it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be fun since we love to do in-store events, but we're not doing them. We're doing a virtual event. We have the sets ready to go, so please, if you're watching this or if you know somebody that loves fragrance, buy one and join us. We'll announce the details.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is you can join us live because we'll be doing a live broadcast, but you will also get the link to it. So like if that time doesn't work, you can just play it an hour later the next day, smell along and still have the same joy, and then still buy a fragrance and apply that whole purchase price of the samples toward a fragrance purchase that you want. So it's going to be fun. This is our way of testing out. We'd love for anyone who is into that to do it with us. So we will link it up.
Yeah, and we will be doing a Wilhelm. It's 5 fragrances. One is a Wilhelm, but it's a secret. It's not one of these 4, so you definitely want to sign up to do that.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
I just put this on my body because I want to eat it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's freaking awesome.
it is. It's really amazing. You know what
It makes me so happy.
Here's what I'd recommend is that I did this when we first got it, before we ordered it, when we were testing these fragrances. I did one day put the Basilico and Fellini on one wrist and Morning Chest on the other, and then I just didn't get anything done for the rest of the day because I was doing this for like the next 7 hours. So if you want to kind of keep occupied and like love on yourself, like that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Therese is asking, how do they get smokiness into a fragrance? Does anyone know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fragrance makers, perfumers, do use synthetic molecules and compounds to mimic certain scents. So that would be a chemical compound. You can also, like we talk about oud. Oud is an extract from agarwood trees. It's a resin that's fermented and it can take on many different scent profiles. So it could be camphorous, it could be smoky, it could be woody, things like that. And certain plant materials they can play with to give off like that sort of smoky scent. Incense is definitely something that a lot of perfumers use too, which can give that smoky scent. Perfume actually means through the smoke. So
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Perfume means loosely through the smoke.
Yeah,
So
like
it's like
fumo is
Yeah.
fumar, and it's like smoke and fire, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're sort of it's smoke, and
Yeah.
the idea was, I think original fragrances were things you put on like handkerchiefs. You either smoke them or fragrance them to prevent getting the plague or smelling the raw sewage in the street when you were an upper class person and went out in your carriage through like medieval streets or whatever. You essentially didn't want to smell the human waste and dead carcasses of animals and whatever else was dumped out on the street. So you put fragrance on there, and then eventually it became something that was more fashionable rather than functional.
exactly, precisely. And hygiene wasn't what it is now. It couldn't be. So that's another reason.
Yeah, and one thing to say is if you want to learn more about fragrance, The Emperor of Scent by Chandler Burr is a story about Luca Turin and it will give you a history, it will get you excited about fragrance. It's a great story about someone falling in love with fragrance, and it also is totally fascinating popular science read about the still to this day like kind of battle about how scent actually works inside the body and how Luca Turin, in my mind, I think I kind of fall on the side of like he discovered a healthy dose of it, but was shut out by all of the scientists around the smell, the science of smell, and basically was like blackballed because it upset their industry that they had built. It's a great read.
Yeah.
It's like a page turner about fragrance. So
Totally.
Awesome.
He's quite a character, so definitely it's a must read.
yeah, yeah.
And then there's the movie Perfume if you want to watch a giant orgy. So there's that too, you know.
Yeah, that's good recommendation. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jim. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Shall we wrap up?
Yeah.
On that note,
Yeah.
I've got a lot to do.
No, that movie, and it's from a book, is actually also really interesting about scent as well. It's fictional, but there's a lot of interesting stuff about the power of scent in there.
It is a great book. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm anything about
Orgy scene aside, it's a good story.
Yeah, you're like seeing how many times you can work that into the
Say
video.
it again.
It's great. All right. Well, thanks for joining on this orgy of scent enjoyment today.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, but we really appreciate you joining us. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, a great summer weekend. Thanks for joining us on Tea Time. We got more for you next week. I'm sure we'll post some things, but we'll be back next, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm excited.
Wilhelm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you check out Wilhelm.
And we'll have him on. Jan will be on September 18th.
Hey, yeah, that's the other thing is that like while our store is not open for you to walk around and handle everything, we have had some really customers shout out Dana and the team about if you want to come in, we have the room. It's kind of like a waiting room style, but we will bring fragrances. We'll let you smell. You just got to wear a mask when you come in, but it is doable and it's actually really fun. And in a lot of ways, you can get a more personalized experience right now than you can when we have a really crowded store. So if you're in Lincoln Square, come on in and see us. All right.
For sure. We're here for you.
All right. Much love, everybody.